Better. Hey, I'm Captain Eddie Castle and welcome to my shop. Glad you made it out here. We're going to start this video 2-3 hours ago. These thunderstorm warnings. The world's coming to an end. It might get rough, but hey, we can still get out of here with the new cover out front because it's not insulated or anything. If it's raining on it, we can't talk. So we're going to do something else. I'm working on some pens and I want to show you something about this because I don't want to change what I told you before. Yeah, I do. I want to make it easier for you to make these pens. All you got to do, it's a simple thing. All you got to do, watch. To let you know what we're working on, a while back I showed you how I do kitless ink pens. Now these are some really spalted wood guy sent me. Gorgeous, gorgeous coloring. A pink epoxy, a red epoxy, a blue epoxy, a pink with some kind of nuts in it, epoxy. Got another pink one with some other kind of nuts in it. I get all these at SWAT, Southwest Association of Turners. That's the last full weekend of August in Waco, Texas. Look them up at SWAT, www.swatturners, just like it says, .org. Don't go for .com, it ain't there. SWATturners.org. And look up the details. In my opinion, it's one of the finest wood turning shows in the world. Wood turning shows, I said. All right? Great program. But my wife went in last year. Yes, my wife. Management. Went in last year and came back with a handful of colored blanks that she bought. I said, it's pretty. She said, well, you make pens out of them. Sure, babe. Can I get some more? I went back to the hotel room because the Hilton's right there. I went back to the hotel room that night, and on the credenza in the room is a line of colors, probably 50 segment epoxy and wood pieces that she picked out that she wanted pens made out of. Probably 50. It might have been more because she was hiding some stuff. But she said, will you make me pens out of those? And I said, sure, let me get kits. And then she says, can you do them without the kit? That she knows what that is. That is when we take and drill this out, turn it. The mandrel's really easy. And then we insert a Bic, not Paper Mate, Bic refill into the end of it and make it into a writing instrument. And they're really cool, and we've done a lot with them. One of my first videos I called the 12-cent pen, long time ago. Got a couple of million hits on that. Because it's a simple project. Now, what I do is, I have my chuck right here. This is just a key chuck, like a drill press, right? This is my number 2 Morse taper. I've got a key on it. No magic. And I'll put it in the drill bit, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then after I've drilled it out, then I use the drill bit again to hold it. Yeah, isn't it like cheating? Okay. Now, I've got this one kind of roughed in. I did it with a rubbing gouge to this point. Just now you caught me, I was knocking a few bumps off with the skew. I'm going to go back and clean this up a little bit. Oh, you got to get closer to see this happen. Yeah, step on over here. That's what I mean. You know, come on over. Let's get friendly. Page 1. One of you guys, gals, talked to me about my hands in front of the stuff and working with it. I have a video monitor right up there, and I try to watch to see that I don't block the shot. Sometimes I can't do it, and Waldo, my cameraman, doesn't work every day. So sometimes I block the shot, but I do my best to show you what we're doing. But this is chucked up. It's on a mandrel, which is the drill bit. I'll show you that more in a moment. We're up at the middle belt of the lathe, which puts me at about, right under 3,000 RPMs, okay? My skew, and I just lapped it up a little bit to sharpen it up. Shield's going down right now. You can see what's coming off. And it barely whispers. Now, I'm going to cheat and go to a friend of mine, Jimmy Creel, who does finials, to tell you how I'm going to use this to improve my skills. Right, improve my skills. I just went left-handed. Now, you know, when I was a kid, it told me if you do some things with the left hand, to feel like somebody else is doing it. Well, if I put both hands behind my back, I can't scratch my ass with my left hand. It's just that awkward. But, let's see this. The on and off switch, rod and bevel, I'm going to twist the skew until I make contact. See it? Then I'm going to slide it. Getting a little movement. Okay, I've gotten this pretty small. It's about the same size as the Bic ink pen. I've knocked it out. I said I started my roughing gouge. This is my weapon of choice. It's a D-Way tool roughing gouge. I keep it very, very sharp. And I have these corners rolled back. Let me see if I get where I can show. See how the corners are rolled back on it instead of going straight out? I roll them back a little bit because it gives me more versatility with it. It gives me a smoother cut, and it makes it more friendly. And I need to be friendly. What I didn't show you just now is I stopped and sharpened up my skew. I have my diamond, my fine diamond thing, and I'll just dress it off a little bitty bit. Check that edge, and it's better. What I did, I picked up some trash and some resin from here, and it was on the blade and gave me an irregular surface. So I want to clean that up. Now, I am now cut. I did a little mousing over here to reduce this end. I used my skew. I just went in and took that little corner off. I came up here, turned my skew over with the long point down, see it? And I went in here and I moused off this corner. This little nib right here is rubber. It's from the hardware store, a nylon type thing. So technically this is shaped. Technically nothing, it's really shaped. Alright, now we start off square, different color, and we've knocked it down, we were drilled. I'm going to now sand it using Vince Welch's from Vince's Wooden Wonders sandpapers, and just now I had my lathe cranked all the way up. I'm going to bring it down to about 700 RPM, 600 RPMs. That's where we're at now. Shield down. long as you're generating loose grain, you're sanding, you're not burnishing. If it loads up and you don't have any more new fresh material coming off, you're burnishing, which is not the same as sanding. Step up a little, 180. See? Here's the deal. If this sheet loads up, the grit never touches, the material touches. And you'll say, oh, that feels so smooth. It's smooth, it's not sanded. A whole lot of difference. See, I rolled it around, changed the clock on a little bit, so I can come in and get a little bit different sand on it. I'll take the, here, let me show you what I'll take. Got to get all this out the way. Oh. Better show you where it loaded, where it didn't load. Step up to 320. Now you can do this wet. Why am I not doing it wet? Gee, I don't know. That's a great question. Why am I not doing this wet? All right, now I am. Look at the difference. I got the 320 and I went wet. Now, paper's not loading up because it's staying cool and it's allowing the fines run off. You can see the little darkness right here coming off by my thumb. That's the grit. Let's see it? See it coming out? That's the paper, that's the material coming off. That's what I'm looking for. I was at 320. I'm going to go to 400. Again, I'm just using a spritz bottle of water. That's all. No formula, no secrets, no oils. No soaps, nothing else, just water, right out of it. Well, it's water out of the green garden hose outside because the blue hose won't fit the top of the bottle. That's it. Now this is 400 grit. Now I want to shut it down right here and show you something. To me, this is a fairly acceptable finish I have. I don't have any scratches, any tears, any runs, any pulls. I don't have any surface abrasions and marks that would keep me from saying this isn't a beautiful piece. Now, good sanding, I would say, if you really want to impress somebody, I'd step up to a 600 grit or an 800 grit. I think I have some right here. Yeah, I sure do. And we buff it with a little 600, 800. Now you're going to say, what's the difference here? This is a different color paper, isn't it? Yeah, well, that's different than this green, and this green's different than the blue, and the blue's different than the red, and red's different than the black. What difference does it make? To me, the color's because he wanted to color code something and try to make it sound like it, or make it feel like it was important. To me, the color's not important. The material and how you use material is. So if you think you need mats or sheets or felt or screens or whatever you think you need, it's fine. You can get away with anything. I'm going to be Bola. You can get away with anything above hardware store sandpaper. Hardware store sandpaper leaves a lot to be desired. I'm sorry, 3, and that's how I feel. I get my stuff with Vince Welch at Vince's Wooden Wonders. Here's the website right here. If you need to get hold of Vince, you can call him. Tell him what you're doing. Here's the good part. Vince is not a great salesman, but he knows a lot about sandpaper. So if you just want to ask Vince about the sandpaper and tell him what you're sanding, and what you're doing with it and the problems you've had, you got the right guy. You're not talking to some girl taking orders at a counter someplace. Now, I'm drying it a little bit. I'm using my blue paper towel. Remember, rags never come to the lathe. Rags don't, well, I wear them, but rags don't come to the lathe. This is dry. I'm ready for the next step. I'm a firm believer in being frugal. Okay, Bob, I'm cheap. This is my CA glue stash. This sleeps in a refrigerator in a house because it keeps moisture away from it, which enhances its quality and age. And I'm putting it in a bottle I get from Starbond, and I will put about an ounce or so in the bottle, put a cap on it, and then this goes back into the house to sleep in a refrigerator while I use that CA. Might be a couple of weeks, but it sleeps in the refrigerator to keep it fresh, not the freezer. Whew, got in trouble for that last year. Sleeps in the refrigerator. Now let's go back to the lathe. Here's the fair warning. I just wet this down, had water moisture on my hands, and I full with the CA, repackaging it, and the fumes came out of the bottles. I have a little skin on me right now. You see it? All right, that is from the glue that's bonding to the moisture. Just the vapors bound to the moisture. This will come off with some acetone in a little while, and it'll be gone. But now that I've got this dry to a degree, and I have it clean, I'll take another strip of my blue paper towel, and again, this is my, where is it? Super fast medium, super fast thin EMO2. I spilled a little bit on the outside of the bottle. Look at that. Better than yesterday when I glued my finger to the drill chuck when I split the other side of the other bottle. I might have a picture of that. That was pretty good. All right, now we're going to crank it back up at a fairly slow speed. See it? All right. Now, right here, one drop on top, and move it along. Oh, wait a minute, Eddie, you just sanded that. Yep. And this wood, this material, has got some porous areas on it. Now, what I just did was seal all those areas down and get it all uniform. It's very, I think the term I'm looking for is homogeneous. It's very slick now. You can see the reflection coming off of it. You can see the quality in the turning. Let's get in there. Where you at? Come on, go get over here. Get over here. You see that? Come on, focus out with the camera. Camera doesn't want to agree. All right, we'll back up a little bit. Look at the color and the texture of that. That's beautiful blank, right? This came from the guy that does the little display right next to Ruth Now's at Waco. So if you're looking to see where I got it from, go to Ruth Now's and look right over there next to it. They got a guy selling these blanks. Now, this is done with CA glue. It's ready. What I'm going to do now is buff this off a little bit, put one more coat on to make it very homogeneous, and then I'm going to wax it. I buff it off with my coarse Scotch-Brite. Now when I get done today, my smock has to be cleaned. I'm going to take it and throw it in a washing machine. This will be in my back pocket, and that'll take the trash off of it and give it a little bit of a life. Now Vince sells these things, so do a lot of other folks. But why would you want to buy it if you can just throw it in your pocket and get it washed? All right, knocked it down a little bit. I'm going to go back to the same scrap of paper I had, blue towel. I'm going to go on it and just hit it. Watch it as it goes across. You can see it shine as it goes across. And I'm putting on like 2 drops. And I'm using it medium fast for a reason. Because it lays out nice, it lays out flat, doesn't wrinkle, doesn't stack, doesn't trap moisture, doesn't misbehave. I'll let it dry for maybe 3 to 5 hours. No way. It's been like 20 seconds. We'll knock the fuzz off one more time. Now I really like the way it feels. And I'm going to polish it with my, there you go, Renaissance microcrystalline wax polish. And I use a lot of this. I mean, the last can only lasted me about 12, 13 years, I think. But I just dipped my finger in the tip of it, got it on there. Look how much I used. I mean, there's nothing, I didn't put a glob on it, or a glob on a paper towel. I've rubbed in. It's going to be a micro finish when you get done with it, so you don't need a lot of it. And then I'm going to buff it in with the blue paper towel. But now, listen to it. I turned the speed up because I'm going to buff off this wax, and I just want to make it all very sweet and homogeneous. Now that is a good looking blank. How about that? One of the guys sent me a whole package of making shaving stickers. I got to clean some stuff up and stick them on and put them everywhere. I mean, forehead, hat, everywhere. Those are nice. And here, this who did it for me, right here. That's his name. He turned it out. Nice. Start over again because I lost the tool. Hey, but we're all right. We're okay. We're okay. All right. Don't call anybody. All right. We've talked about doing this before. Taking an acrylic or wood blank, drilling it on the lathe using the drill bit in the drill chuck. You don't need a mandrel. You don't need a drill press. You don't need special bits. This is a 5/32 bit I get from MSC Direct. MSC Direct. In fact, wait. You need an item number? Here. How about this item number at MSC Direct? There's nothing magic to this bit. It really isn't. But I now have it set. If you can see it, it sticks a little bit past the end of the length of this epoxy. On purpose. Right now. I've got to explain it. Right now it's on purpose. Now I'm going to drill this. I'm going to get me a center. And then I'm going to get me an opposite center over here. And I'm going to, can I do this? I can do this. Okay, rain's getting a little bit rough. I found my opposite center. See, that's the center I found. And I put that at my tailstock. And this has changed what I've told you before. Then I brought it up to the first center on the other side. Okay? And then I brought the wheel up a little bit. Now, this one's already drilled. I can't show you drilling it because it's drilled. And then I'm going to just get a good start. Watch, crank up. I'm going to get it about that far. It's about an inch. Then I'm going to move my tailstock back and pull it out. From here on, it's my hand that's going to drive it. This got me centered for about an inch. That's what I needed. The reason I'm dragging this out, and you want me to hurry up, this is a critical part of what you're doing. The 5/32 bit is extremely critical because if right now, somehow this pair of pliers, this cone cut, this tool, that tool, makes contact with that tip will not be perfect. Now, I got to say that again, that tip will not be perfect. Why? Well, because you've hit it on something that's harder than it wants to be. Let's see if we get this thing down in there a little bit. Right? That is, with all the bad focusing and everything else, that is, it's only fluted for about 1.5 inches. This is very sharp, and this is going to eat away the wood or the plastic and go through. If this is dull on, say, this lower corner, it's going to go that way. If it's dull on the upper corner, it's going to go this way. And it'll come out of the piece. So you say, wait, I'm pushing on the piece and then come out the side. Well, we just talked about that a minute ago. When we put it up here, we had a center we found, and another center. We used those two centers to get it started, and we got it on a little bit, and then I was pretty sure I was going in straight, so I could continue. Now, I'm going to do another one right here. This is another piece. This got some nice waffling in it. Look, see that? It's got some beautiful waffling. Oh, and that's done by on purpose. Now I'm going to crank her up again. Here we go. One center. to make a jig to do it, but I'm better than you can jig. Now I'm going to bring the piece up, get it at that center, and then I'm going to push it on there slowly. You can't go fast, you can't go hard, you can't go far. Now, I'm going to feel some resistance in this length that's in my hand, right here. But I'm in there about 1.25 inches right now. Now, I don't have to shut off to do this, but I backed it up, shut it off and pulled it out. Now that is getting started. Now I go in, knock off the trash. Don't hit on the tip. Hit on the flutes, knock the trash off. Then I'm going to go in and I get about 1/4 inch each time. Or you can do more than that. No, you can't. You'll overheat it. I just found the void here just now. I'm pushing it on, pulling it off, let the flutes clear themselves. It wouldn't work any better if the flutes were all the way to the other end of the bit. It's a mechanics thing, guys. The machinist did it to us. Alright? Now, watch where my hand is. It's on the, not on the end of the piece, it's on the piece. Why? Because look at this corner and you'll see why. There it is. Called the smoke high hole silver. I'm all the way through. Now, I guided it, and I took care of it. And don't rate me, I did it without the shear on so you can hear me. But I didn't come out dead center. I didn't. That's no big problem. I'm cheating again. What am I going to do? When I'm ready to turn it, it's going to go on this way, where I have the center down here, and I have enough here to get my pen blank out. You need to get closer, don't you? Come on, get up here, get friendly. You see I'm not in the center, but I'm going to have enough meat and potatoes to get that out of the piece, being a little bit off center. So that's going to be my tip. This is going to be my cap, and that it'll go really nicely. It will go. Take the one I just drilled, and I want to turn it and do it. Can I do it now? Not really. That's why we back here again, because I wasn't very good at explaining that. This can't be this far out now. I'm going to move this in about 3/4 of an inch. Always it get hot. Alright? I'm going to pick the piece, put it back up there and say, alright, I'm 3/4 from the end of it. Why? Because I don't need all of it. I just need some of it. And I tighten it back up again. So that gave me, I got my drill bit, and it's hot. I got this little rubber, this little plastic nylon thing that I got at the hardware store. It was in the big trays where they got all these goofy parts. And I'm going to slip this on. This is my buffer to keep me from hitting my chuck. Let's see if I can get in closer and look to see that. This little piece of nylon, it's a nylon bushing. I bet it was like about a 1/8 of that right through it. So I have a little rubber bushing here, nylon bushing. I have my bit. I'm going to use the offset piece to go to the end over here. My drill bit is about here. So now I can bring up my, watch this happen. Put a little pressure on it. You see that? See what I did? That's a sound effect. Now it is being held in on my chuck to where I've got it ready. And did you see? Here it is. That scribe right there on my handle. That's my telltale. Is I'm going to be about 1/8 of an inch below that scribe when I get started. Put it in lockdown my tool rest. Turn my speed up to about 90%. And I'm ready to rough this in. It is a piece of work. We recapped that because I heard from guys that said, I'm doing this, I'm drilling through the side. Oh, here's the other thing. Pardon me. You're buying those drill bits, buy about 6 of them. The shipping will cost as much for 6 as 1. So get about 6 of them, and if you don't use them all, share them with your buddies. Tell them how to do it. a little part, because there won't be an epilogue in this one, is I'll look at Ace Hardware tomorrow and see what it is. If tomorrow comes bad rainstorm, the noise is going to get us, we won't be able to talk. But we redid it because I wanted you to see how simple it was. We're going to turn an ink pen. I'm going to the grocery store and buy me some big crystal ink pens, pull the insert out, put it in here, and this is ready to go. And I'm gonna love this. Only because management says I have to. Where is it? Come on, where is it? When I'm sizing these, and I've seen you guys do it too, I make it so the cap will fit on it. She says you gotta have that cap. To me, that's the first thing you throw away when you pick up an ink pen. But some people believe you have to have it. Well, she's got it. It fits. Goes in a box with a whole bunch of others. Now let's talk business. Real business. I stopped to let the rain go by for a minute or two, but about a week ago I introduced a video to you and I said that we're going to do a challenge. And the challenge was spinning tops, finger tops, spinning tops. Not the ones you throw. I've been too many places with old guys like us throwing those things. Ain't happening, alright? These are little spinning tops. Very easy to make. Showed you some tricks and techniques. I'm going to do some more and show you embellishing and coloring and all that. But here's the challenge. You've got until the 30th of May to send me a photograph of up to 5 tops in the photograph. And I had to do this to hold back people like Ron Radliff who will do 2,500 and send me a picture. I don't want that. I want 5 maximum. And you can send me the photographs as often as you want. And then I'm going to have 3 people look at it. We'll have a first, second, and third place winner. Nice prizes. Still working on where to come from. There'll be some nice prizes in this. I won't cheat on that. That'd be bad. Alright, but if you're not in the contest, look up the video, spinning tops, see what we're talking about. Well, you want to here's a picture. Here. This is something a friend of mine did, and more. And I mentioned Ron Radliff, more. So all these folks are getting their little spinning tops together. It's going to be a photographic contest. My judges will never see the tops, never touch the tops. That's for you to take care of. I found out today that the children's home here in New Orleans will take all we can get them. They love it to give them to the kids. So that's where our tops are going to go. But spin a top, get it ready. Well, let me see if I can do this a different way. Get out in the shop and start making shavings. That's what it's about. Making shavings. Yeah, just like that thing. Like this is. Yeah, get out there and do it. All right, take care. Nice seeing you again. Oh, next time we're going to visit, we're going to talk about a pattern. Yeah, a template. Management calls it templates. We'll talk about it.